What is the deal, man? What is going on? What is happening? You are back for another episode, another live episode here of the Raider Rundown, man. Make sure you guys are tapping on that like button, on that subscribe button if you really feeling what you're hearing. And today, we're going to be touching on some of the head coaching news, the rumors, and all that stuff in between that we done heard about the Raiders head coaching search so far. Not gonna lie, nothing but good news, man. Even if whatever side you was on, man, so far it's been nothing but good names. So we're gonna go ahead and go through that. We got some names to talk about. We got some rumors to talk about as well. See where this thing gonna go. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead. Let's get the intro started and let's get the show cracking. Man, what is going on? What is happening, man? Make sure you guys are tapping on that like button, man, at the very least. And you already know what I always say, man. If you are absolutely feeling what you're hearing, make sure you tap on that subscribe button as well, man. Man, it is a love-hate relationship with this team, man. Not only does this team, if you're a content creator, man, they're gonna give you content to give, right? So that's a good thing. They're gonna help you out. The content, you're gonna have to go ahead and stay on your toes with that. But always, bro, you're going to have to be changing your fucking graphics and shit like this, man. I think about like 70% of my graphics I can't use anymore. So then like that's beautiful, right? That's always things ever changing with this team, man. But you already know what we do here, man, on the rundown. Got to go ahead and give love to all of my people in the chat. So you know how we do that in the form of our first segment, which is giving a roll call, man. That's when we give a shout out to all the people that's in the chat tapping in with the conversation, man, as they do, man. So give a shout out to always, man, Robert Pena. Always, damn it. If I don't see Robert, if he not the first comment, he top 5, right? He top 5. So it's always love, man, to Big Rob in the building, man. Always showing love. So appreciate him always pulling up. J and N Galindo. Yes, getting the news started. That's like 10 minutes ago. So we about to talk about that in just a minute. But Todd Monken, what do you think about that OC for the Raiders' next head coach? If I'm going to go offensive guys, I think he would be second on not second because Ben Johnson is. So third on my list of offensive guys, right? If we're going to hire an offensive guy, he would be third on my list. And we're going to go through his coaching history in just a minute, but it's not a bad name, right? As long as you're hearing them talk to names that are part of successful and winning organizations. So that is the number one caveat that we could take from this. They're good names and they're from successful teams. So that is the one thing that you could say, right? Dominique 5 in the building, man. What's going on, Nick? Salute to you, my guy, Huey P in the building, man. Salute. What's going on, man? Sacktown Raider in the building, man. What's going on, big dog? Glad to see you here, man. Sun Goddess in the building. What's going on, Sun Goddess? Always glad and lovely to see you, of course. My dog L11 in the building, man. What's going on? Dev Royal 7. What's the deal? Yes, sir. Ja getting it started. What's going on, Ja? Request to interview Ben Johnson Friday. Yes, sir, man. I'm good with it. Let's see what happens. Eric Raiders Haters Hunter, man. We're one of the dopest names on YouTube, by the way. But salute, Nation. Was honestly thinking about Bruce Arians. I'd pass on that one if they were thinking about that. It was just me personally. I wouldn't mess with it. That's just me. Chris 4 Raiders, man, in the building, man. Salute, family. What's going on to you, man? Salute. SoCal Sal blessing us with his presence, man. What's going on, big dog? What's the deal? Fear Raider in the building, man. All the regulars in the chat, man, as they are, man. I already know what's going down with the rundown crew, man. What's going on, everybody, man? Raider Way in the building, man. Salute. And then I got everybody in between. Of course, you got Rafa in the building, man. What's going on, Rafa? What's the deal, man? And then it's everybody in between. Last but not least, man, my dog 805. What's going on? Salute to you, man. Always fire show whenever I see you, Severe, and Chris on, man. I watched y'all yesterday. Y'all had me rolling. Shit was crazy, bro. Jeff, man, what's going on, man? Big Jeff, any Raider boosters in the building. And salute to everybody that I did not get to yet, but make sure you tap in with the conversation because you already know, man, without y'all commenting, I always say, man, the conversation don't move. So appreciate everybody and all the Raider family for tapping in. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and get this thing started out. Hold on. Oh, the camera then clicked off. But you know me, man. It don't matter, man. Regardless of how we go, the show don't ever stop moving. But let's go ahead and let's get things cracking like this, man. So, you know, we got a lot of news, a lot of things to go ahead and get through. So as of right now, bro, I think we should go ahead and look at that. You know, nothing never stopped the show, but we should go ahead and get things started, right? It's a lot of shit we got to get through. We got to get through candidates. All right, we got to go through their history, and we got to go through everything in between. So we're gonna do a little different here, right? So usually when you hear for a rundown show, right? Usually we got our segments that we go through for the game and things of that nature. Now I'm still working through some segments that I want to go ahead and do for the offseason. You knew your boy Rundown said he's gonna take a break, but of course this team probably they heard me say he's gonna take a break and they say fuck you. No, you're not. So of course, right? I ain't had no time to set up nothing, but we're gonna set up some more graphics. But as of right now, we still got something that we're gonna keep on the regular, man, which is we're going to hit it, man, with the Raider races, man, and that is when we talk about all the recent news that has went down since the last time we've been live, right? So since the last time we've been live for a solo rundown show, right, we done did everything with Cheeto, State of the Nation, everything in between, but a lot didn't happen since the last time I've been live solo, bro. I mean, shit, it's a whole new regime coming in this mug since the last time. And that's it. Once again, bro, Raider fan, whatever the case, bro, you're a Raider fan. Your week to week is an unknown, right? Your week to week, 1 week you could think you have a head coach. The next week you done traded all the assets and we starting over and shit. Like that's the life of a Raiders fan. But here we are, bro. You know what I mean? So, but you know we done fired the coach. You know AP's gone. We didn't talk about that at length. What we felt about how he got fired and how things were handled, right? So I already had my emotional tangent on that. So now we moving on to what coaches are we looking at now currently? Who's in the driver's seat? Okay, so looking at who's in the driver's seat right now, we got two names already that we're going to talk about. And by all intents and purposes, very good names, man. So as you look, and always, man, shout out to Prez Raiders Resistance for the graphics. Go ahead and give my dog a follow if you can. But looking, man, first names that we got this morning, right? And by all intents and purposes, bro, one of the bigger names, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, right? The request was put in for the interview. Now, as of right now, out of the two, I know that Ben Johnson is the only one as of right now. Now, y'all can correct me. I think he's the only one that has accepted the request and has something scheduled out of these two, right? So I think Ben Johnson has some scheduled on Friday with the Raiders. I think Aaron Glenn has yet to be scheduled, but the request has been made. So throughout this process, I want y'all to understand the verbiage of a lot of things that you're going to hear through the offseason. You have to work through the verbiage, right? Because that is what's going to separate whether something is factual, whether it's a lie, whether it can happen. There's a chance it can happen, whether there's a chance it can't happen, and motherfuckers are just gaining interest, right? So, for example, when you say the Raiders have requested to interview Ben Johnson. Now, what I just said was only one person has accepted the request. Throughout this process, we can request to interview anybody we want. But it's up to that person to then accept the request, right? So now you got one of the biggest names that have already accepted it. Now now for me, right? Me personally, one part eat crow a little because I didn't even think this man would touch this or even sniff this job with a 10-foot pole, right? So then you got to eat crow a little for me, but happy as well because I'm happy as hell that at least now, does it mean we getting taken seriously? That would be the question. So I'm happy for Mark and Tom at the simple fact of it looks like they're doing it right this time. Right? Looks like they're doing it right this time. But as of right now, these two, Ben Johnson's the only one that has accepted. And I think I see it. Ja, I'm with you 1,000%. Out of these two, I don't care which one is the head coach, bro. Either one, I'm good. We roll. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine with either one. But really, I want to get y'all opinion, bro. Sound off before we start going through the coaching history. For both of them, sound off. How do you feel about this news that we've requested to interview both of these coaches, and at the same time that Ben Johnson has accepted the request, right? How y'all feel? Do you still think there's a chance that we get Ben Johnson? Now, I'm not going to lie. I still think, just my prediction, I still think Ben Johnson ends up in Jacksonville, right? I think that's a better situation for him. That's just me personally, right? If I had to predict, you had to ask me, like, yeah, I think he goes to Jacksonville. Quarterback already there, right? Situation's a little different, all type of other stuff. Glenn, there's a shot at Glenn, but something tells me Glenn's gonna end up in New Orleans too. So I don't know why. I don't know. We might not get these two dudes. That if you were to ask me just off the top, gun to my head, what's the prediction? Yeah, I think Glenn goes to New Orleans, and I think Ben goes to Jacksonville. But the fact that these are the names, right? We're on track. We are on track. L11 says he's cool. We got one. Daniel Samano, he says Glenn is a bum coordinator. Okay, so that's one. Sound off. I want everybody to sound off. I'm good on Glenn. Okay. Well, number two. Two people not good on Aaron Glenn. Okay. Josh says I'll be happy with Ben Johnson and Robert Saleh, or Pete Carroll and Robert Saleh. Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about Pete Carroll in a minute, although it's been rumored. We haven't officially put the request. Ben Johnson giving us an interview out of courtesy. Brady effect. That's what Dominique thinks. Okay. Which, still, once again, like, I'm glad we getting it. I don't have much hope that we, like, land him. You know what I mean? I still think that there are other jobs that are available that are better suited for what he's looking for. But you never know, bro. You never know. I mean, shit, he can get in that meeting, and then they get to wowing him. They get to telling him whatever, right? Like, hey, bro, you get to do whatever you want here. You don't know how sweet it sounds when he get it. The fact, you just got to get him in the room at this point, right? Because if you look at around the NFL and all the destinations that coaches can go, we're not the most attractive. We just got to be honest with ourselves, right? We are not the most attractive job. So at this point, what the mindset is, bro, we just got to get these motherfuckers here. Accept the interview. And when you accept the interview, we about to run it down, bro. Brady about to run it down. You feel what I'm saying? Mob style. This is what I need. This is what you gonna get. X, Y, and Z. And then we're gonna see what happens there. Right? But if we look at, man, he says out of courtesy, Big Raider says, I hope whoever we hire brings in Salah for DC. Same. I'm not gonna lie. That is my, like, if you're looking at I got other DCs, right, that I do want to look at, I take a look at, but that's the number one, bro. Like, that's the number one option right there. If you can, and I'm already hearing that he's rumored to already get some interest to go back to San Francisco, which pisses me off, which means you'd have to go ahead and snatch him up early, bro. Because he's at least, Salah's gonna get looks for defensive coordinator at the very minimum, right? At the very minimum, he gonna get defensive coordinator looks. So you're not going to be the only person on that list. We're going to have to stamp down who the head coach is quickly to go ahead and try to get him quickly. Like that. That's probably how it's going to have to be. Daniel says the nation is tired of hiring these scrub ass coaches. Hey, I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm not mad at you, which is why, after we'll kind of talk about these guys, why I'll say what I'm going to say. But let me see, man. Johnson and Hooker to LV. I don't know about no Henry Hooker, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm cool with Glenn. Okay, that's another one. I'll be fine with Glenn. I'd 100% be all right with Aaron Glenn. There might be one way you could sell him this job to Ben Johnson over the rest. The best sell, but worth a shot if you want him. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about trading up, that's the only way. The only way is to trade up, right? If you're going to tell him that, yeah, bro, you get whatever two quarterbacks, if you like Cam, you like Shador, whatever the case, bro, if you like them, we'll trade up for them. Like that's just basically what you're probably going to have to say. But let's go ahead, man. Let's start with Ben Johnson, because you know what we do here on the rundown, man. We're gonna give you the rundown off of everything, bro. We gotta get everything. We gotta talk about his history, what he's done, right, and how it stacks up, because the history does matter, right? The history does matter. So let's start with Ben Johnson, right? Going through, he's coached for 12 years, right? College, NFL, back and forth. He's been with the, university. Well, he played at the University of North Carolina, played there, of course. So if you're talking about, some ties and where you can kind of link him to, think about it. He played at North Carolina. Where did the quarterback that the Patriots just acquired come from? There would be one, right? So we just making connections right now, because at the end of the day, that's what all of these jobs are. When these head coaches are accepting these jobs, bro, like they want the best fit, the best connection. So, we gotta go ahead and see that. So there's that. Okay, that's only playing career. But as far as coaching, let's go through there. He was at Boston College after he graduated, and he was at Boston College for about 3 years as a graduate assistant. So, getting his ranks in there, whatever the case. But then getting into the NFL, 2012 was his first shot getting into the NFL with the Miami Dolphins as an offensive assistant coach. So that's 2012, was in there, was promoted to assistant quarterbacks coach as Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals, was promoted to quarterbacks coach, whatever the case. So building off that, goes ahead and Ryan Tannehill has a number of records that year. This is Ryan Tannehill's rookie year. So at the same time as we're going through his coaching history, we got to look at some of the people and players he's interacted with as well on his journey, right? So this is Ryan Tannehill's rookie year. He helps Ryan Tannehill set some records as the quarterback coach. And despite that growth, the team did still stall regardless of it. The team wasn't all that good with Ryan Tannehill. But regardless of it, was with Miami all the way up until 2018, right? So bounced around to be a number of different coaches, right? He was a quarterback coach, then a tight ends coach, then a receivers coach in Miami all the way to 2018, till then he was hired at Detroit in 2020. So it was a 2-year gap between the Dolphins and the Lions. Right? 2-year gap between the Dolphins and the Lions, which it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because sometimes coaches got to take a break. Sometimes things happen, but 2-year gap. Then getting into tight ends, right? With the Lions from 2020 into now, that's where he's been. But was a tight ends coach all the way until 2020, till he became the offensive coordinator in 2022. And then now we obviously know what he's done up until there. So with Ben Johnson's history, right? It's not illustrious. So we can't sit here and shout out my guy Pharaoh, man, in the building, man. What's going on, man? We're another tandem right there of that late 50-50 show with my guy Severe, man. So salute to the guy Pharaoh in the building. I see my guy His Stick Stepper. What's going on, big dog? Yeah, Wild Turkey in the building too. I see y'all, man. What's going on? But if we got to be honest with ourselves, you can like Ben Johnson, whatever the case, bro, but his history is not illustrious. It's not, right? Like tight ends coach, quarterbacks coach, okay, and now offensive coordinator for 3 years. That's where you take the bulk of it, right? But it's not crazy now. But at the same time, it's a lot of experience just in the league in general, right? So a lot of experience in the league in general, being around certain things. So at least there's that. Like I said, 12 years of head coaching experience, but being in that prominent offensive coordinator role, only been about 3 years, right? Only been about 3 years. So there's that with him. But the 3 years that you've seen with him, they've been great 3 years, which is hence why everybody's ready to up and say, this is the guy, right? This is the guy. So if I was to go off resume alone, right? If you go off just resume, right, and what they've done in the past, Ben Johnson's resume isn't really all that illustrious if you compare it to a guy now. Look, like say if I compare it to a Aaron Glenn, right? Like even Aaron Glenn, I think Aaron Glenn's thing might be a little bit more illustrious. Now let's go through his, right? And shout out Unc. I see Unc in the building, man. What's going on with you, big dog, man? Shout out Turf, man. Decided to come on through, man. And shout out Chris for Raiders with the first super chat of the evening. Appreciate it. Any coach on the Raiders list will work, but John Gruden. I think that's a fact. 100%. But if we continue to look right, Aaron Glenn, now we're here. Now let's kind of go through his coaching history, right? And kind of what he's doing. Hold on. Aaron Glenn is 52. I did not know that. But going through what he's done. So he's coached for 13 years total, right? Of course, played. And then, was in the front office a little bit now with the coaching career. But obviously, more experience with the football and the playing side, right? Of course, was with the Texans, Cowboys, Jaguars, multiple teams, right? Saints, Jaguar, hence why another connection, right? You talk about why I think he ends up with the Saints. He played with the Saints, right? For some years. But after his playing career was over, Aaron Glenn then transitioned into front office duties, right? So he was with the front office of the Stallions, right? The Houston Stallions. And if I'm not gonna, that's a Lone Star football league right there. So sat out a few seasons after football and then joined them 2012 just to be kind of front office for them. And there was that. But then went to the Jets after that. After the short stint with the Stallions or whatever the hell that was. After that, he became a pro personnel scout for the New York Jets in 2012. So scouting history, right? Which is good. You got to think like sometimes too, I want my coaches to have this scouting history, bro. Or at least, have some resemblance of searching for and acquiring players, right? I kind of want my head coach to have that background because honestly, now it's like, what the hell you're looking for, right? I know you're not just blindly trusting a GM to say, all right, bro, I just get me whatever and then we'll figure it out. Like, nah, have a vision, have what type of players you're looking for. And let's go into the season like that. So, you're looking at there. He had some scouting prowess there, so I like to see that. But then the coaching history, if you're looking at the coaching history, you go into it. Like I said, we started with the personnel scout, college area scout for the Jets. But after he got out of that, then he went to the Browns from 2014 to 2015 as a defensive backs and secondary coach. Both of those years. Then after that, right, another one of those Saints ties. Not only did he play for the Saints, he coached for the Saints for 5 years. He coached for the Saints for 5 years. I believe. Yep. 5 years. Coached for the Saints for 5 years. So not only did he play for him, he coached for him as well under Sean Payton. And by all intents and purposes, bro, I think that is the connection with him. But if we keep going right, he's been the Detroit Lions coordinator since 2021. So there we go. Right, since 2021, he's been the Detroit Lions coordinator. And first year, terrible. Right, 3-13. First year, terrible. 9-8 the second year, and then from then on, 12-5, 15-2. And even this year, what he's done this year is so impressive with the amount of injuries that they've had. What they did to Minnesota the other night, bro, that shit is impressive. What he did and what he's been able to do with this team and with this Lions squad, bro. So any of these two dudes, in my opinion, bro, any of these two dudes, we're fine with. We are okay. I think they both know how to, well, I say more for Aaron Glenn. I don't say both. I say more for Aaron Glenn. I think I know Aaron Glenn can lead a locker room and be able to lead 53 men and motivate 53 men. And at the same time, he's been a defensive coordinator. I see what he's doing with the schemes. He'll be able to come in and scheme it up. Now with Ben Johnson, might be a little. I don't know for sure about the leadership factor. I still reserve right to judgment with that one. I don't know about that one fully yet. I can't fully jump in. But as far as the scheme and all the other shit, of course, right? Like there's nobody left or else as far as Ben Johnson. If you're talking about offensive scheme, as far as him being, I think he's the best candidate. If you're talking about scheme wise, best candidate. But as leadership, I don't know yet. That's the one thing. That is the one thing I'm curious about with Ben Johnson that I have no idea. How is his leadership factor? That is just me. So as we continue, man, damn, remember his playing. Really? Was he? Well, he bounced around a lot, so I don't know how nice he was. Sometimes people are better as coaches than they are as than they are as players. But Taco K, man, salute. None of the top coaches are coming here. We're gonna get somebody that nobody heard of or was thinking about. Book it. Let's hope not. I think, well, out of everything, Brady says he's doing this the right way. All the candidates that we have look good so far, and we're doing this early in the process. Something that we did not do, I think, for the last like 2 searches. We gave, first of all, look early in the process and give the process time to develop. I don't think we've done that at all for the last 2 head coaches searches. You waited hella late with AP last year, right? I mean, because you kind of already knew what you were doing. And then with Josh McDaniels, I think Mark Davis already had most of his mind up made. You know what I mean? Most of his mind was made up as far as what he wanted to do with Josh McDaniels and things like that. I mean, he just went through formalities, but it just seemed like he already knew what the hell he wanted to do. So what was the point in searching? So now it looks like, all right, bro, open-mindedness, look for the best candidate, find that. Let's just find that. Let me see what else y'all talking about, man. Shout out to everybody up in here in the chat, man, before we go through some more news. One wants Todd Monken. Robert Saleh wants to get DC job. Call him now. Facts. Me too. Hope Ben is not another McDummy. And I think that's all of our fears. That's my fear. That's my fear. I will say that. Like, I have no doubt about the scheme. No doubt about the football shit. It's just the leadership. That's it. That's the only thing that worries me, bro. That is it. What up, All Eyes, man? What's going on, man? Damn, Daniel, who do you like? Damn, Daniel, who you like, bro? What's going on, bro? Who do you like? You'd have been mad at 2 dudes already. But I'll say this before we continue on, which is why this is where I think it's going. The way I think it is, I really do think that the Raiders are looking for veteran leadership. Now, I like Ben Johnson. I do. I really do. But I don't think he's coming here. I think more of what you're going to be looking for is somebody that has experience, somebody that that does not have to learn how to coach in the division where it has a lot of experienced, accomplished coaches in it already, right? Like you probably, unless you think that dude can be a guy, right? Like he can transcend us. They're probably leaning veteran. That's just me. That's what I would think. Because of the division, because of where this team is at, they're probably leaning towards veteran, which is like, okay, tomorrow, Thursday, right? Mike Vrabel has his interview with the Patriots. And we gonna see, right? We gonna see. But yeah, he has his thing with the Patriots, and I think that if he don't leave there, if he leave out of there with no deal, our antennas should be up. I think Salah going back to Santa Clara, that would piss me off, dog. Motherfuckers get chance after chance after chance. But let's continue on, man. Let's continue on because we got some more news that we got to discuss. So we talked about Aaron Glenn. We talked about Ben Johnson, right? So these are the first 2 people that came, as far as names. Next name, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys here. As far as the next name, I don't like this name because we're gonna talk about confirmed names first, and then we're gonna talk about names that I think the Raiders should be looking at that have not been announced yet. That would be on my list, right? So as far as this one right here, bro, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like this shit one bit, and that is Steve Spagnuolo. Right now, all respect. He's been in our division, you know what I mean? His defense be ranked nice and heavy and all that good shit. I don't like this one bit. It don't fit to me, right? The feeling ain't there, bro. And I get it, right? Sometimes it can sound dumb the way it is, bro. But I think most of us, when we're, especially if we're not even in these interviews, but I even think in the interviews too. I mean, shit. If you hire somebody, sometimes you got to base some of it off the field too, right? Does it fit? What's the fit in this motherfucker? If on the outside looking in, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it at all. So I think what Dominique is saying is 100% right. Just intel, right? What are we doing? Now, how much is he really gonna spill as far as the interview? Who knows? But Tom Brady might be smart getting some intel off there. I think that's more of what's happening rather than I think this is an actual interview. Now, if he is hired, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not gonna like it. I'm going to meet it with skepticism at first. I am. And now I'm letting my feelings be known now. Right? If he is the coach, I'm gonna meet that shit with major skepticism. But he's the last name on the list. But it's a respected mind, nonetheless, right? Respected mind, nonetheless. So it's good that you have respected guys that you're requesting these interviews, they're accepting the requests and things of that nature. So that's good, right? So that means we're on the right track. That doesn't, like, if you're gauging the interest in all these guys that are interested in here or wanting to interview, then that means we might, like, from the league perspective, we might not be as fucked as we thought, right? Like, from a fan perspective, oh, we're royally. Yeah, it royally. No Vaseline type. But from the league perspective, it might not be as bad as we think. If all these people are like, well, maybe I'll accept the interviews. Now, they might not accept it and they might not take the job or whatever, but it's just something to think about, bro. It's just something to think about. But his stick stepper says, big facts, hard pass on Spags for head coach. Yeah, I'm not with this shit at all, bro. I'm not with this shit at all. Pharaoh says, better defensive coordinator than head coach. Yep, 100%. Now, Daniel, I'm with you on this one. I'm with you. I'm with the hate 100%. KC coordinator, another bum, bro. No, I'm with the hate 100%. Now, if we get him, we're going to have to take back the words. But either way, as of right now, he's still wearing that red and white. Bum. Fear Raider says Spagnuolo is really close to AP. I don't think he accepts. Is he? Oh, then no. Probably not then. If that's the case, then no. Oh, yeah, he is, huh? He is. Then probably not. John B, you've been in here wilding, but I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show this comment. Spags has fumbled every coaching shot he's ever had. Hard pass, and that is a fact. That is a fact. I would only take Spags as DC, which won't happen. Yeah, it's not. He's not leaving the Chiefs to go lateral, so it's a no. Yeah, I'm good off Bruce Arians, bro. I'm good off Bruce Arians. I'm not gonna lie. He ain't been in coaching for a minute. And it seemed like when he left, it seemed like he was like for real done. So I don't know. Spagnuolo is not bad. Look at what he did. Kansas City defense. They don't have no big names but one. True, but then it's like we've already seen him be a head coach before, and it wasn't good, right? Some people are just better coordinators, right? And that's good. Like some people are better coordinators than they are head coaches. I mean, shit, just Josh McDaniels, best example you need. But leading the whole thing is different, which once again is some of the fear with Ben Johnson for me, which is like, I do not want to get no motherfucker that all of a sudden he realizes, well, you know what? I might be a better coordinator. Well, it's too late for that shit now. Not if we hire you. You better figure it the fuck out. At that point, you got to figure it out. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, bro. Like, when he did leave, it did seem like he was done. So I don't know. But Arians wouldn't be my first thing. Is it the players in Ben's system or is it the system? You don't know. You don't know because he's only been at Detroit, right? Like Ben Johnson has only been an offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. So you don't know what the fucking system looks like without all those players that he has under that, right? So, I mean, that's a crapshoot. No matter how you look at it, bro, some people can look at it like a slam dunk. That's not, I think Ben Johnson's kind of risky. He kind of risky. And I'm going to be honest, right? So, I mean, we could go through Spags' history as a head coach. I mean, it's only right? It's only right because we don't want to go ahead and cheat the system. We can't cheat the game. So let's fuck around and look through his coaching history. But going through his coaching history, I know he has. Now, when I say the word experience, right, this is the experience. 27 years as a just football coach, right? 27 years. Damn, his playoff record's 29-12. But I mean, of course, he's with Andy Reid. So we're going in, okay? He's been everywhere. He's been fucking everywhere. He's been coaching since 1983 with the Washington Blank Blanks when they were that back in the day. Yeah, player personnel intern. Then this man was everywhere. Connecticut, 1988. Somewhere called the Barcelona fucking Dragons, right? Which is where I would send some of our free agents that are pending. I ain't gonna cap. Some of our free agents that are pending can take their ass right over to the Barcelona Dragons. I ain't gonna lie. But we go in there, right? Then after that, San Diego Chargers as the scout in 93 to Rutgers, Bowling Green. Then now we in the league, right? We in the league now in 1999 with the Eagles as a defensive assistant. Worked his way all the way up to DB coach, linebacker coach. Boom, parlays that. Gets to the defensive coordinator with the New York Giants, right? Wins the bowl, wins the big one with AP in that point. But now you go 2008, leaves there. Now this is where we're getting our head coaching stints, right? With the St. Louis Rams. And let me read you these records, okay? 1-15, 7-9, 2-14. That's his head coaching record. Again, the best record that he had as a head coach was 7-9. The other seasons he won three games in 2 seasons combined. So that don't really instill too much confidence within me, right? It don't. I'm sorry. But Ben Johnson come from Joe Philbin's tree from the Dolphins, which is crazy, which is wild. But yeah, hearing that, bro, that don't instill too much confidence. And then you look right now. He went to, after that, had to rehabilitate himself. 2012 goes to the Saints as the defensive coordinator, and then from there goes to the Ravens as a secondary coach, defensive assistant. Then goes back to the Giants as the DC, and parlays that, leaves there, goes to the Chiefs. It's where he's been ever since. But yeah, he'd be the last on my list, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He'd be the last on my list. I'm not really too excited for that one. 831 Raider in the building, man. What's going on, bro? Says, honestly, which coach doesn't want to be the one who partners with Brady to bring back the glory to a legendary franchise? By all means, bro, you got to have somebody as far as this coach shit that likes competition, right? That wants to get their hands dirty. That's it. Because when it comes to this division, bro, there's no other way, right? You come in this division, bro, automatically everybody going to be looking at you 4 out of 4, right? Because you already got the other 3 coaches that we do not need to name. And you got the quarterbacks in the division that we don't need to name either, bro. We already know what time it is. So you got to get somebody that ain't scared of no comp, right? Somebody that's going to come in this motherfucker and get ready to compete and get ready to put the flag down. But that, again, it's got to be the right person, bro. We can't just hire whatever, right? And that's the thing. With some of these jobs that are open, you got to think, bro. Some of these jobs that are open, some of these dudes can just hire whatever, to be honest. They just hire whatever the fuck. Like Jacksonville, sure, if they get Ben Johnson to be good, but they can just hire whatever the fuck. It is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, because that division is a crapshoot sometimes, you know what I mean? It's up and down. Whatever. You know what I mean? You look at the Saints, they can hire whoever the fuck. It doesn't matter. To be honest, that division's booty. You just got to get somebody competent. With this shit right here, bro, you can't just hire whatever. Right? Like, you got to hire substance. You got to be right. You got to have somebody that not only knows that, okay, I got to build this shit from the ground up and have that pressure of knowing that you got to build this against those legendary coaches, legendary quarterbacks or good quarterbacks or whatever the case. You got to not only build that on that, but you got the pressure of us, the fan base, bro. We ain't won shit in years. So whoever comes in this mug, and I've said this for the quarterback too, bro, unrelenting pressure. Right? Like, bro, we're on his ass immediately. And it don't even matter if it's good, better, and different, bro, but we expect change. We won't change. We clamoring for the shit. So whoever comes in here can't take the shit la-di-da. and think this shit's whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's not. This is a pressure-packed job if you really think about it, bro. Now from the ownership, maybe not, right? Because from the owner, you don't know what Mark is telling them. We have no idea. But then again, from the outside looking in, you have no idea what the fuck the owner's thinking anyway. So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot when it comes to this job, bro. Like, you got to be prepared to compete. You got to be prepared to fuck with a ravenous fan base who is starved for wins, right? Like, you got to be prepared to build this shit from the ground up. That's just where it is, bro. So we got to see where we at, man. And shout out to Leo, man, with the gifted. My dog, man. Shout out, man. And everybody, after the Raider rundown, about like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, right? My dog is going live on his show, The Raider Connection, with LV Raider 10. I got my guy Jay over there, man. He's going over there. And also Jeff. They're all going live, man. So go ahead, hop over to Leo's show, 7 o'clock. We should be done by then, right? We go ahead, tap into the comment section as well, man. So appreciate him for tapping in, bro. Tom Brady taking this real serious to get the right head coach, as he should, right? As he fucking should, man. I think if we're letting Tom spearhead, I'm all for it. And I mean Brady, not Telesco. Brady needs to spearhead. Telesco, you sit back, man, and take some notes or some shit. Transcribe what the fuck the interviews are about. For me, bro, I don't want Telesco near no important coaching decisions. I'm sorry, I don't. Some people can try to gaslight me and say, "Oh man, but me Telesco did this." Have we not seen this man hire and keep coaches he shouldn't have? And yes, the ownership group over there with the Chargers, they're pushy sometimes, right? They're pushy sometimes. But still, bro, he's had the luxury of fucking hiring and firing coaches throughout his tenure over there. We've seen it. Anthony Lynn, Brandon Staley. There was somebody even before Anthony Lynn that somebody said this earlier today, bro, and it baffled me. And the name, I was like, damn, I forgot this name. But he did hire this motherfucker. Hold on, bro. I'm going to tell y'all right now, because I like to be factual, bro. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, you ain't going to get away from me, Tommy boy. No, sir. No, sir. Because Tommy T going to skate, right? Tommy T trying to skate, bro. And don't look at me, right? Tommy T trying to just be Mike McCoy. There we go. Mike fucking McCoy. So if you want to know should we give Telesco a vote of confidence when saying, like, should he be one of the main voices in the room as far as finding a head coach? This man has hired Mike McCoy, who is 27 and 37 in 4 seasons, and kept him for 3 years, mind you. Anthony Lynn, who was 33 and 31 in 4 seasons, kept him for that long, right? And then he kept Brandon Staley, who was 24 and 24. And he was there from 2021 to 2023. Are we getting the pattern here? Regardless, or if the ownership group wanted this man, wanted whatever coach signed or whatever, bro, he be keeping these coaches longer than he should have. That's the pattern too. Not only are these terrible fucking hires, but he's keeping these people like years longer than he should. The year the Chargers, and by all means, I laughed. Thank God. But the year the Chargers lost to the Jaguars a couple years ago in the playoffs, Brandon Staley shouldn't even got back on the fucking plane. But whose decision was it to keep that man another year? Waste more. I'm not trusting this man with no. Tommy T, go ahead, right? Grab the notebook, grab the pen, go ahead, sit back there and take notes, right? Take notes. I need to know what he said. Sometimes I can't remember the whole shit, what they saying, man. When Brady looked back, hold the notebook up. Hold it up. What'd he say? You got that shit on there? All right, get it on there now. All right, that's all I need you to do. That's it. As far as when we say, now when he leave the room, I might fuck around, ask you. So, you know what I asked Tommy T, bro? What did you like? What did you like about what he said? Whatever Tom Telesco says that he liked what the candidate said, I'm going to go ahead and write in my notes, okay, avoid whatever the fuck Tommy T just said. Because as of right now, bro, I cannot fucking trust your opinions. I can't. So we got to go ahead and let Tom Brady do his thing. right? And I think right now that's what's happening, and I'm happy for it. But it seems like it's whoever's in charge right now is doing it the right way. Let's just say it like that. I don't know who it is, because I know it ain't Mark. I know it ain't Mark. Mark is trusting somebody else with it. So it might be Brady, Seymour, right? Telesco might be involved as well, but the voice isn't as big as we think. I think the main voice is probably Brady. I think Seymour's in there as well. And then you got the rest of the people in there. But yeah, man. It's I don't want Telesco touching nothing like that. Now, when we talking about drafting and all like that, there we go. Now we can start talking. But there's another one of the candidates right there. Now we got to talk about somebody else, which is, and all of y'all were talking about it right here, bro. Todd Monken, right? Todd Monken is a name that just came through the circuit. Not too long ago, bro. It's a name that just came through the circuit not too long ago. And right now he's with the Baltimore Ravens. What he's done with the Ravens and how he's helped Lamar Jackson, crazy, right? Crazy what he's done with Lamar Jackson. Now, for me, bro, like I said it yesterday, it's kind of hard for me sometimes when I'm hiring these like coordinators that are with these top 5 quarterbacks, right? It's hard because you know what it is, bro. The easiest way to get a job in the NFL is to either be friends, or whatever the case, with a top 5 quarterback. It's the easiest way to get a job in the NFL, bro. I mean, just ask motherfuckers, ask Nathaniel Hackett, right? Ask him. Ask motherfuckers that Brett Favre got hired, right? All these people. Continue. I mean, even Brady got some jobs, right? He got some people some jobs, bro. I think it's just, it worries me sometimes when you're like, all right, bro, we're going to hire this coordinator, but he's had a top 5 quarterback. Only reason why is because, bro, I can shake the dice. You feel what I'm saying? Shake the dice and fucking come up with a random play on a play call sheet, and Lamar Jackson probably going to make me right. I mean, like, that's just type of player he is. So I get weary when it comes to that. But his coaching history, though, like, this is what I said. You gotta see, though, sometimes what players they've interacted with, and where they've had success with. Now, with Todd Monken, 10 years of coaching experience we can look at. And he's been, a lot of places as far as the NFL goes. He's been a lot of places, but he's also been in college as well, right? He's also been in college as well. And most recently with the University of Georgia with our guy, Brock Bowers. And I wish Trey was here. I really wish Trey was here because I'm going to ask him. Right. And if you don't already know, man, my guy, Raider Trey, he be around here, but he's a big Georgia fan. So I'm going to ask Raider Trey, man, how he feel about Todd Monken, because he was with the University of Georgia for a couple of years, bro. So with them, he was with them for 2 years. Right. So that's most recently, but he's been, all around football 10 years. He was with he was just with the Browns. Tampa Bay, if you're talking about most recently who he was with as far as NFL goes, and with the Browns, right? Okay, so this is where, even though I said what I said about the top 5 quarterbacks, this is where you start to sway your opinion, right? As far as me, I like the fact that he's been with a lot of college, a lot of college destinations. I like that. Oklahoma State, he's been with Southern Miss. But then when you go into what he's done with, when he's done with the NFL, this is where it gets nice. Tampa Bay, 2016, 2018. He led the Bucs offense with and they ranked 3rd that year, or those years, in first downs per game, right? 2nd in passing yards per game, and 1st in 3rd down conversions at 44% while he was with Tampa Bay. Check this out. Tampa Bay also averaged a league high 10.3 air yards per pass attempt. What are some of the things that we get pissed about when we're talking about this Raiders offensive game, the pass game, whatever the case? We can't go downfield, right? I mean, it's always seemed condensed when we talked about this Raiders offensive game, the scheme. However, it's like, bro, we only operate within the hash marks, right? Like, which pisses me off. It's like, bro, why? Like, it seems like we don't even go downfield. We don't go outside of the hashes, nothing. But if you look in here, bro, that is music. That should be music to your ears if you're looking for more explosiveness, right? In 2018, This is when he had Jameis Winston, right? This is when he had Jameis Winston, but still. And we know what Jameis Winston is, right? So if we're talking about turnovers and shit, and Jameis Winston's name is a part of that, you should already know what time it is. But with him, 320 yards per game. That's what he helped Jameis Winston with, right? Buccaneers also finished with a franchise record, 408 completions, 36 touchdowns that year, right? Mike Evans, his franchise record at the time, 1,524 yards, right? He had 1,500 yards that year, Pro Bowl selection, all type of things, right? So we're looking at this. He killed it with them. Now, this should get you excited too, and it gets me excited as a running back, right? You continue. Cleveland, he goes to Cleveland, 2019. Now we all know what the fuck Cleveland is. Dumpster juice, dumpster fire, right? If you're talking about organizationally, one of the few organizations that have done shit worse than we have. But looking, he was there 2019. One of the only years in recent memory that I can remember Cleveland actually being relevant, being good, whatever the case, was this year right here with Todd Monken. And that is when he got his hands on Nick Chubb. He had Baker Mayfield at the time, Odell Beckham, and that is when Nick Chubb produced the league's second most rushing yards that year, 1,494 that year, had 8 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, right? Boom. He threw for his single season career record at the time, 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, and Odell Beckham had his 1,000-yard season. So you're looking at there, right? He's with Cleveland. They produce only 1 year, but then goes to Georgia. What does he do at Georgia? I think he won 2 national championships, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won 2 national championships. So either way it goes, bro, I think he won 2 national champions with him, hired in 2020, right? Looking at what he did with Georgia, they ranked top 10 in points, 38 points per game. You know what I mean? 7 yards per play, total first downs, tied for 7th. Then you looked in 2022. You know, he had Stetson Bennett as a fucking Heisman Trophy finalist, right? Throwing 27 touchdowns. They even upped that point total. Look, 616 points that year. And obviously had Brock Bowers and won Brock Bowers some best tight end in the country awards, right? So everything he's done, and then obviously right now we're talking, and then I don't even think we got to talk about what he's done since he's been with Baltimore, right? Since he's been with Baltimore, it's been nothing but greatness, right? With Lamar Jackson. I think he's even helped unlock Lamar Jackson's passing game, right? I think he's helped unlock Lamar Jackson's passing game. So, hey, reading it, bro, you know, as of right now, we can all have who we like, but this is why I like, you know, doing the show, and this is why I kind of have this type of vibe with the show, bro. We all learn it at the end of the day. So we going through these candidates. Sometimes, right, I'll even be reading some shit I don't even know, right? So then it's all fluid, bro. So you can like what you hear, then not like what you hear, but off of what he's done, how he's, you know, went about his career, the players he's interacted with, how he's helped their careers, he'd be a great choice, bro. He'd be a great choice. So I can't sit here and poo-poo on that at all, right? If I sit there and get mad at what I just read, bro, that's hating. That's hating. So now I said 10 years at football, 10 years at the NFL level, right? He's been coaching 36 years in total. So 36 years of football experience in total, 10 of them at the pro level. So very good right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If they was to hire him, I'm not mad. Can he lead men? We'd have to see. But I think so. I think that would be a great hire, though. I think that would be a great hire. Monken sounds like the best name out there. Now let's continue to go through some guys, bro, because I still think there are some guys that we can go ahead and speak. Once again, look how he do Mark Andrews, right? If Monken was in here, bro, he'd get in here and have Brock primed, right? Brock could pick up right where he left off. And I know that'd probably be fucking, Brock would be crying tears of joy, right? Tears of joy. Monken means we get Beck round 2. Now, Beck's going back to school. Oh, wait, no. He did declare, huh? Oh, shit. I wouldn't like that, though. I wouldn't like that. I don't think you can go from Lamar Jackson to fucking Carson Beck, though. That's just me. That's just me. Once I didn't reach that mountaintop, right? Like I didn't reach the peak of coaching. To me, like if I'm coaching a motherfucker like Lamar Jackson, I can't go back. I can't. I gotta get. Now, obviously, God only made one Lamar Jackson, but I gotta get something fucking comparable. I gotta get some type of skill because Carson Beck and Lamar Jackson couldn't be farther on the fucking spectrum. Farther on the spectrum. But even coming out of college, bro, even if you wanted to talk about Lamar Jackson coming out of Louisville, two different, you know what I mean? There's two different things. But I like Todd Monken. I would not be mad at Todd Monken nonetheless. Now let's talk about another name, y'all, that I think some of you, I saw somebody mention it, but I would like this name too. If we're talking offensive guys. So if we're going to go offensive guys, no particular order, because I think all of them would work, honestly. If we're going to go Ben Johnson, you want to go Todd Monken, and then this third name, which is Liam Coen, bro. I think at first I wasn't really with Liam Coen, right? I'm trying to stick to my guns. You feel what I'm saying? I said if we're going to get rid of a rookie, fuck it, we can't hire a rookie, whatever the case. But it is what it is, right? Because Pharaoh, shout out to Pharaoh, pointed out all the best ones are rookies, right? All the best candidates are rookies. So it's like, no matter what we do, if we hire a rookie, bro, this team's going to be hypocritical as shit, right? It's going what they just did to AP, what we about to do is going to be hypocritical, regardless of it. So we get that out of our minds, right? Okay. Liam Coen is another name that I think can work. Why do I think that? Now, this is me. This is me personally. But why do I think that? He's been places and he's been everywhere he's went. Number one, the quarterback position always stands out as to where he's either what he's coaching, what he's helping improve, whatever the case. It's always the quarterback position, right? Always the quarterback position. He's there. Secondly, McVay tree, right? He comes from the McVay tree. I love me some coordinators that come from the Sean McVay tree, right? Because those motherfuckers seem to know to have it up here. Them motherfuckers, when it comes to offense and shit, now you don't know about everything else, but when it comes to the scheme, when it comes to getting these quarterbacks where they need to be, them McVay dudes, they be having it, right? So that's another one. And now let me read you what he's done. Right now, the names on there and probably like where it isn't all that impressive, but the result to me is right. So if you're looking, he has, a number of years of experience. What's that? About like 14 years, whatever the case of coaching experience in total. If you want to look in the NFL, for like 5 years of that is NFL experience, but starting his coaching ranks. Now, keep this in mind. Now, he's a young coach, right? I'm not mad at the young coach thing, right? He's only 39. Started coaching at 25 at Brown, right? He started coaching at Brown, but was the quarterback's coach all the way and was the quarterback's coach and passing game coordinator for all of his coaching career, right? So he went to Brown, Rhode Island, back to Brown, UMass, Maine. Was the quarterback's coach, passing game coordinator until he went to Maine and then became the offensive coordinator for 2 years. Off of that, 2017, he left the college ranks, went to the NFL in 2018, right? And they parlayed that and went directly to the Rams, right? And I don't know what it is about the Rams, bro. Whether you're a quarterback, whether you're a coordinator, whatever the case, bro, people seem to rehabilitate themselves when it comes to the Rams, right? So, or just get themselves acclimated and ready to do things. So you go to the Rams, he is a wide receivers coach from 2018, 2020. And then he is an assistant quarterback coach in 2020, right? With the Rams. So 3 years he spent with them under McVay, with the quarterbacks, whatever the case. In 2021, he then goes to Kentucky, right? He goes to Kentucky as the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach there, right? So with the college ranks. So as you continue to see, right, he's continuously working with these quarterbacks. You go with, then he goes back to the Rams as the Rams offensive coordinator in 2022. And now if Sean McVay is trusting you to be the offensive coordinator, he thinks he knows your shit. Now, we all know that McVay calls his own plays, but even so, the offensive coordinator is instrumental in coming up with the game plan, things of this nature. So I think, looking at that, I like the fact that McVay trusts him to climb these ranks, right? I was looking at Zach Robinson. Somebody said that, and shout out to L11. I was looking at Zach Robinson the same way, right? I was looking at that the same way because I saw he climbed ranks within McVay's tree. Quarterbacks coach, tight ends coach, boom, the offensive coordinator. Now it's like you're getting trusted with more and more responsibility, right? But off of that, then goes back to Kentucky. This is where, now in 2022, I could have said this. I don't know for a fact. I don't know who was the 2022 was a tough year. That was a tough year for them. But if you're going into Kentucky, this is where it starts getting impressive for me, bro. This man made Will Levis a first-round pick. I can't stress it enough how impressive that shit is, bro. He made this man a first-round pick by all means. Went to Kentucky and had everyone fooled. Not me, but fooled, right? Everyone was fooled. Now you didn't parlay to get this man into a first-round pick. This man was not no first-round pick, but the way he was playing in Kentucky, the way he was kind of masking his deficiencies, parlayed that. And now we go into this year with Tampa Bay. And by all accounts, this year with Tampa Bay, he has been killing the game with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay ranks damn near top 10 in a lot of offensive categories, right? He's got Baker Mayfield playing out of this world right now. He has a rookie running back in Bucky Irvin that is going stupid right now. I believe he has like 13 to 1,400 all-purpose yards going in there. I even think that might just be just rushing, right? And even in a year where you lost Mike Evans for a couple of games, you lost Chris Godwin for a majority of the season, right? Like, you're losing weapons left and right, bro. And by all means, like, I'm still seeing throughout the year, you still see this Bucs offense 40 points, right? End up score. They damn near scored 50 the other day, bro. Like, they continuously put up points after points. Baker Mayfield looks comfortable in what he's doing, bro. I think Liam Coen would be another guy that can come in, and if we're looking for offense, he'd be another guy I'd fuck around with as far as the offensive names. So as we continue, man, if we hire Liam, I wouldn't want us to trade for Levis. Bro, I just think he parlayed that Kentucky job to another to NFL shit. If he's smart, bro, he wouldn't do that. Not if you got a chance to get some other quarterbacks that look better, bro. Now you got a chance to look at some other guys. But looking at all these names, right? And we would have talked about the Bill Belichick, but as of right now, I mean, that was quick as hell, right? I mean, number one, you hear he's interested, or the Raiders are talking to him. But I kind of want to preface this for everybody that might still feel a way about the Bill Belichick. So this might ease your guys' tension just a tad, right? Because I know some of you probably heard, the Bill Belichick rumors and got, and got spooked. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. So this is from Jonathan Jones. This is 40 minutes ago. The Raiders are interested in speaking with former Jets head coach Robert Saleh for their head coaching position. And I'm with you. I don't know who said it. I think it's Dominique. I don't know who. Somebody just said it right now. Yeah, I'm good off him as being a head coach. I'm straight off that. I don't want that. I'd rather have him as a DC. But as you can see, right, interested in speaking with former Jets head coach. Because he's not currently employed by a team, we do not have to request permission. So he can just come in. How would y'all feel about him being hired as a head coach? I'm not with it as far as head coach. But a DC, 100%. Right? 100% I'm with it, DC. He never seemed to get the offensive side right. Right? He never seemed to get the offensive side right. And that's just something we can't afford. So, hey, maybe we talking to him to also kind of put the bug in his ear. Like, hey, bro, like, we want to hire you. But if it's not with the head coach, we definitely want you as a defensive coordinator. So maybe you put the bug in his ear for there and say, like, all right, well, that's what we want to do. But yeah, I'm not really feeling that as far as all like that, being a head coach. DC, 100%. Not no head coach, though. Last news that we got to talk about, man, for everybody that's kind of tripping about the Bill Belichick news, I want you to kind of read this for yourselves. We always kind of like to clear things up. Since this is from Benny Bonsier, the sense that he's getting on the Raiders and Bill Belichick situation, that the talks were more about Brady picking Belichick's brain on the process and the traits of the search, rather than trying to actually bring him in. So that should ease some of y'all minds. I know it eased my mind when I did read that. And I initially thought that anyway, right? Because honestly, you look, right, it was a $10 million buyout pre-June 1st for Bill Belichick in order for him to leave UNC and go to another job. He had to spend 10 M's, right? Now, to him, that's probably nothing, but 10 M's is 10 M's. You probably ain't doing all that shit like that, right? So as of right now, bro, it didn't make sense. And Belichick seems like the type, if he's committed to something. So at least for the year, it didn't make sense for it anyway. And I'm definitely thanking my lucky stars that shit is not happening. I will say that. I thank my lucky stars that shit is not happening. So we getting to the end of the show, man. Now I know Cheeto is probably on. Shout out to him. They probably doing that Raider, they doing a Raider connection. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to end the show with the last segment of the show, man, which is hit it with the final rundown, man. If you don't know now, you know, man. The final rundown is when we go ahead and touch on just putting everything in a nice black silver and black bow, man. Putting everything, wrapping it all up. You know what I mean? What do we have to look forward to the next week? What is the future entailing for us? So really, man, I like, just to wrap it up, we talked about Antonio Pierce at great length to nauseum already, bro. We already know how we feel about that as a whole. But now that we're moving forward, now that we have a process going forward, I like the names. The names are good names. We're going through this process the correct way, as we should. The first time in a long time as a Raiders fan, I could kind of think and really preface like we're really doing this as we should be doing it. So that's good to think about. Names that we talked about already, any of them, I'm all right with except Spagnuolo. That's the only one I don't want. Other than that, everybody else seems good. Todd Monken, I'm fine with. Ben Johnson, of course. Aaron Glenn, of course. Now, do we get a chance to talk to Mike Vrabel? That is what we got to ask ourselves. Is Pete Carroll it? Because, yeah, that was a rumor, but is that true? How true is that? Would I mind Pete Carroll? No, it's just the age factor for me, right? Like, he's 70-something. We're trying to create something long-term. How long-term is Pete Carroll? So that would be my question mark for that. But it wouldn't be a bad name either. So do we get a chance to talk to Vrabel? Is the Pete Carroll thing true by any means? How do we get to talk to that? So a lot of things that will be going down. Of course, whatever happens, make sure you keep your notifications on because the offseason is going to get crazy. So if something happens, something goes down, you know your boy Rundown will be going live to go ahead and touch on that, tap in with y'all, and talk about all the news. So make sure you guys are tapping on the like button. At the very least, if you felt what you heard, if you're feeling what you're hearing, tap on that subscribe button so you don't miss no more of this dope-ass content, right? And I appreciate everybody that is in the building. You can be getting your Raider news anywhere, but you're coming to chill with your boy, man. So I appreciate that. Everybody that is in here, much love to you. Remember, make sure you go ahead, tap in with my dog Cheeto, man. He over there with the Raider Connection. They having their own little conversation over there. So I know that, we'll go ahead and they'll be talking about some good shit, bro. They'll bring some good things to the table, as they always do, as we do here on the Syndicate. So remember, keep your notifications on. We got Turf and Rundown on Friday. We're going to have a Syndicate show soon. We didn't convince Chris and all the rest of them to do a Syndicate show. So the Syndicate show is coming to y'all soon, man. Stay tuned, bro. Stay tuned. That shit's going to be wild when we do that. So make sure y'all keep everything right for that. Until then, you already know what we say here on the Raider Rundown, man. We keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground here on the Raider Rundown, man. Peace out. Be safe for all my Californian folk, man. Be safe. Prayers to everybody, man, that is in that area over there, man. Much love to everybody. You in California, if you near them fires, man, be safe. Prayers for you, for your family, and love to you, man. Sending it your way, man. Until then, y'all be safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Peace. I need a bad bitch with an accent. Serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young Cash App. Moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, shots to the head. Ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids. So who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?